Om Namo Bhagavade Vasudevaya, and welcome back to our verse by verse exploration of the Bhagavad Gita. In our last session, we witnessed a powerful and lonely moment. Grandsir Bhishma, to reassure his anxious king, let out a mighty lion's roar and blew his conch single handedly, signaling the start of the war. It was one man, one sound, filled with a universe of tragic duty. Now, how does an army whose morale is already shaky respond to its commander's signal? Do they respond with a coordinated, powerful, unified chant? Do they wait for a further command? No. They respond with an explosion of noise. And that brings us to the very telling 13th verse of chapter 1. Let us first absorb the powerful sound of the Sanskrit. तदशङ्गाच्च भैर्यच्च पणवानकगोमुखाः सहसेवाभ्यहन्यन्त स शब्दस्तुमुलो भवत्. And the translation: thereafter, conches, kettle drums, bugles, trumpets, and horns suddenly blared forth, and their combined sound was overwhelming. Let us break this down because the specific words here paint a vivid psychological picture. First, we get a list of the instruments: Shankhas, Bhairyas, Panavanaga Gomukhas. This is the full fearsome orchestra of war. The entire might of the Kaurava sound is being unleashed. But it's how they are played and that gives us the crucial insight. The verse uses two key words: Sahasaiva. This means suddenly, all at once, spontaneously. There was no conductor, there was no rhythm. As soon as Bhishma's conch fell silent, it seems every soldier with an instrument just started blasting it as loudly as they could, all at the same time. Tumula. This is the most important word in the verse. It translates to tumultuous, overwhelming, uproarious, or chaotic. This was not a symphony of confidence. This was a cacophony of chaos. Think about the difference. When a championship team scores the winning point, the crowd's roar is unified. It has a single purpose: joy and victory. But imagine a sound that is just loud for the sake of being loud. A confusing, disorienting wall of noise. That's the sound of the Kaurava army. So, we have to ask the question: why was the sound tumultuous? Because it reflects the inner state of the army. It is a sound of forced confidence. It's the sound of an army trying to convince itself of its own strength. This is a classic psychological tactic. When you are feeling small, insecure, or doubtful, what do? You make a lot of noise. You try to project an image of power and fury to mask the fear and uncertainty inside. This tumultuous sound was an attempt to do two things: intimidate the enemy, to create such an overwhelming roar that the Pandavas would be terrified before the first arrow was even fired, drown out their own inner doubts. Many warriors on the Kaurava side, like Bhishma and Drona, knew this war was unjust. This noise was a way to silence the nagging voice of conscience, to drown out the question: are we doing the right thing? It is the sound of bravado, not true bravery. And this brings us to our interactive reflection for today. Because we all do this. We all create tumultuous noise in our lives to avoid facing an uncomfortable silence. Think about it. When you feel lonely, do you immediately turn on the TV, scroll through social media, or call someone just to fill the silence. That's a tumula shabda, a tumultuous sound. When you are worried about a project at work or a problem at home, do you bury yourself in busy work, creating a chaotic schedule so you don't have a quiet moment to think? That's a tumultuous sound. When we are in a conversation and feel insecure about our point, do we start talking louder and faster, trying to overwhelm the other person instead of listening? That too is a tumultuous sound. This noise we create serves the same purpose as the Kauravas' army's roar. It's designed to drown out the quiet and sometimes difficult voice of our own inner truth. So, here is my question for you for the comment section below. What is the tumultuous noise you create in your life? And what fear or discomfort are you trying to drown out with it? There is no judgment here. We all do it. But simply becoming aware of it is the first step towards finding a more authentic and peaceful kind of strength. Awareness is the first step towards choosing silence over noise, confidence over chaos. This verse is a master class in showing, not telling. It doesn't say the Kaurava army was fearful and disunited. It shows us through the quality of their sound. It was loud, it was overwhelming, but it lacked harmony. It lacked a unified soul. And that sets the stage perfectly for what is to come. Because the Pandavas are about to answer, and as we will see, their sound will be very, very different. So, for this week, I invite you to just notice the noise in your life, both external and internal, and ask yourself, is the sound creating true confidence or is it just a way to avoid the silence? Thank you for sharing this space and this wisdom with me today. If this reflection helped you, please like the video and subscribe so you don't miss the Pandavas reply. Until next time, may you find the courage to face the silence. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Loka Samasta Sugino Bhavantu.